If I was angry, everyone senses that Mama is not happy today. Mama is very serious. And now thanks to the program, I understand my emotions.
Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. Today I have for you another chat with a very brave mom, an expatriate mom of two kids, just getting out of narcissistic, dysfunctional relationship, and why I love talking to her because it's a beautiful inspiration about what becomes possible once you start healing your emotions and your anger and your stress and time pressure, anxiety, right? Because as you will hear in the story of Jeanette, is that not only she found the peace, she stopped her emotions from jumping up at her kids, but now, few months later, only few months, they're her friends commenting on her daughter's behavior, how she changed, how she's blossoming, how she's free, and how she's full of so much more confidence. Jeanette's colleagues are commenting her on exactly the same at her work as well. And she's taking the steps to get a divorce. So much needed, kind of like a closure on a relationship that was not healthy at all. So this is what becomes possible after only few months. All of this courage and strength, all of that came to Jeanette because she started her healing journey scared, and yet she went for it. So let this be an inspiration for you if you're struggling with any of these or similar challenges, so that you see it's not too good to be true. This is absolutely possible, and it's happening for moms from all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of walks of life and environments and cultural beliefs and everything. It is happening. So have a look, have a listen, follow Jeanette's story, and start thinking about and even considering what would become possible for you. What is it that you would want? What is it that you are even too scared to dream now? What if it could work as well? So just open up a little bit and see what happens. Enjoy meeting Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. So happy to have you.
Hello, Alena. I'm also happy to be here.
Thank you. And thank you for your courage to share your story, because I really don't take that lightly. That's a big step to talk about. Okay, I was not a perfect mom. Now I'm doing better. So let's dive into the setup. Would you introduce yourself? Like, you're a mom of how many kids, how old, just so that people get to know you a little bit better?
Yes, my name is Jeanette. I'm from Mexico. I have two kids, 5 and 7. I am 41. I'm in this. I'm still in this not uh, pleasant situation. My husband. I am married to a narcissist. I I want to stop calling him like that, but I I don't want to get into details too much in this. Um, but I decided to look for solutions. No,
Yeah.
be to not transfer my emotions and my situation to my kids.
Yeah. Because on top, and you were sharing that you're Mexican, but you're living in the Netherlands, like you're an
Yeah.
expatriate mom. So like no family, no support network, everything, different culture. Yeah. So that makes it even more difficult. So what are what were the challenges? Like before we met, what were you struggling with? What were you looking for the help with?
I used to get triggered with the mess in the house, so it just drive me crazy. And um, I think, yeah, my emotion. I transfer immediately my emotions to my kids and my family. If I was angry, everyone senses that Mama is not happy today. Mama is very serious. Um, and now thanks to the program, I've been able to switch. I understand my emotions.
And you're able to do something with that. But we will
Yeah.
get to that. I want to start first with if you would share, if you want to share some specific examples, because you were sharing that you were like giving your emotions, you're impacting your kids with them. But do you want to share like what was it for you? Was it like the morning rush or bedtime when kids wouldn't go to sleep? Or what was it when you were not able to control your emotions?
I think it was everything since the moment I woke up and my mind started. You had to do my 100 things to do. I started stressing immediately, and the kids didn't listen. I told them, "Kids, you have to change your clothes, you have to eat your food, you have to do all the things to get ready." And they didn't listen. They went to play. They played with the food. They started fighting, and I started having this. My daughter told me she hears voices, and the voices tell her to hold her brother and to not trust me and not trust my son. Also to the father, and these voices tell her that she's silly, that she's not. All kind of the voices I heard on me unconsciously. She tells me she hears that. So I had to do something. This cannot be like this. I use now my daughter as my thermometer.
Yeah. Of your emotions. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. They always are. They are so smart. The kids, they pick up on everything. Yeah. So tell me, what is it that you tried before to get help?
I talk to psychologists, one-on-one sessions, um, also things from religion. Um, yeah, talk to other people. I made courses to how to raise your kids. And I have all the knowledge. Like the theory is there,
Yeah.
but in the moment it was impossible to use it.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
gone. It was just a huge cloud on my head.
Yeah, classic. Exactly what was going on with me. And that's what I'm telling all of the moms who come to me for help. Exactly. Yeah. So, what is it that gave you like the ray of hope that you decided to join the Zen Supreme program and do this kind of healing work, which is very different than just psychologists and parenting courses and stuff? Why did you decide to go on this path?
Well, first that you gave me the chance. You trust me, uh, because you know my situation. Um, and I thought, well, I'm gonna try one more time, well, something different. And also, I really like the part because I'm very. I like the things that are on science, and you explain all of that. This is how the brain works, and I thought, this sounds good, so let's do it. I talked to you. We have the appointment. We made an agreement, and in the first week, I started feeling results. Like I thought, like, this is amazing. I cannot stop. Sometimes it's ups and downs.
Always.
It's ups and downs. Uh, Sometimes I'm like, I forgot to do the PQ reps, but I remember, but there's benefits. I have to keep going. I have to keep going. There's benefits. And I try to put all the knowledge I got in practice.
Yep.
That I like is it doesn't take me hours to do it. It's just few
Ex-
seconds, a few minutes.
yeah, exactly. Very good. So what Janet is describing here, it is our method is based on brain science, and there are brain exercises called PQ reps. Exactly. And they too take just a few seconds a day, but several times a day, ideally. But let's go before, because before you even start practicing and like rewiring your brain so that you stop hearing those crazy voices, there is an important phase when you actually need to realize how your anger has actually nothing to do with your kids, with the fact that they are not listening, that yeah, you keep saying things 100 times nicely, nobody is reacting. So where was it, if to the extent that you're comfortable sharing, what was the root, the real root of your emotions and the fact that you could not control them, even though you already knew all the parenting theory?
Yeah, my inner child. My inner child is hurted. It's still because I still have to keep. There's still work to do, and I read about that before, but there were all these holistic things that sound like from something else. I like nah, that's not for me. um, but the way you talk about it, it makes sense for me because most of the time when I did the exercises, for me is I go blank. But then I started to understand why. Why I started to remember things from my childhood, things that happened. We were four, so I understand it was difficult for my mom. I'm the third. I'm the third from out of four. So for me, there was not much attention left, and for my brother, even worse. Actually, my brother and I and myself, we had to grow together. So we share many things that happened in our childhood. Um, yeah, then my parents got divorced. My mom has to start working, so we have to grow on our own. No guidance, no support, no emotional support.
Yeah. How was that linked? Did you realize afterwards? How was that linked with the fact that you were losing your emotions with your two children as a mom, as an adult afterwards?
Mm, yeah, from because I'm getting divorced, I realize also I'm repeating that pattern from my family, from my mom, um, even from my grandmother. Is we are. I realize is again, it's again, and I don't want to repeat that story.
Yeah. And what was that pattern specifically for you, if you can share?
Yes, a broken home. Um, my mother has a very sad childhood. My mom, of course, my mom changed a lot of things, but there were still things that she couldn't realize still nowadays, even though I talk to her like um, she doesn't realize many things. But now my work is to do it, to keep um, yeah, I don't want to repeat the same story again.
Yeah. And your kids are so lucky that they have you. They will never even know because they're still young and you're changing those patterns already now. So they're very lucky that you have the courage to just say, like, no, this is going to be the last. I'm going to be the last one in the generation and I'm going to protect my kids from that. Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. So this was the story. So you were suffering from the emotions, not being able to keep them under control because of how it was triggering your memories from your childhood and all the patterns that you went through as a child. And then you started doing those little brain exercises and things. So, what were some of the first results that you saw? Because you mentioned that already in the first week, you started feeling the difference. So, do you remember all the way back? Like, what was the first results, the first wins you noticed?
Yes, still the list came to my mind, but I started taking things out. This is this can wait. This can wait. This is more important. I also changed the Elizabeth. You have to do this to realizing that my kids are tired and they deserve help. So I started to helping them more. We got early 10 minutes before, or sometimes we just spend 5 more minutes cuddling. because that's what they needed. And before I used to get stressed because they were perfectly clean to go to school and be on time. And now I'm like 5 more minutes. I prefer to take happy kids to school instead of crying kids and be there exactly at 8:20.
Yeah.
And we go laughing because my daughter used to cry a lot because she missed me. And now she's much better. Sometimes she still cries, but we have a routine now that helps her to control that. And she stays happy at school. And I also changed um, the orders to I make the chart with my kids' help, and they know what they have to do in the order that they want to do it. If they don't finish it, still tomorrow is another day. Uh, if they go with the little bit of toothpaste on their face, it's okay.
Beautiful. The energy changes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I loved about what you were sharing is that it's no longer the to-do list, but it's like what's most important, that you now have very like much more clarity about what's more important. Like, is it the toothpaste or is
Mhm.
it like the happy kids and being there maybe like a few minutes later? Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. And you were mentioning to me as well, because when we met for your final consultation, like when you were finishing the program 3 months later, you were mentioning that you got even comments on other people about your daughter. So, what was, if you want to share, what was that about?
Yeah. Well, I didn't notice that my daughter was, um, the kid that always quiet, saying yes when she has to say yes.
Good girl. Yep.
Yeah, the good girl. And now my some friends told me, "Oh, I'm surprised that I see different Elizabeth. She's more herself. She sings, she dances. I can feel that she's free." And from my work, I also got compliments. Some of my colleagues told me that they have different vibe from me. Like they feel me more relaxed, more calm. Like I took a huge load out of my backpack.
Wow.
And
That's amazing. So, what are you most proud of that you accomplished through these only few months? What is the like best win for you that you're celebrating the most?
that I made the decision to change.
That was very brave. Yeah. That, and it's indeed like that's the hardest step actually. To decide that stop blaming the kids, stop blaming the husband, if even if he's narcissist or not, whatever, stop blaming the parents, but that you decided to take the action anyways. Yeah, it's absolutely right. And
Mhm.
you can be so proud of yourself. This is beautiful. So, what are your next steps now, Jeanette?
Well, I have plans. I want to change. I want to go back to school. Um, I have to work still in my Dutch skills. I'm working on that, and then yeah, change school. I'm gonna have divorce. Um, I'm looking for a house. I'm still scared, but I can still see the bright thing um, in on the path.
Those are big steps. And
Yeah.
I respect it if you don't want to talk like too much about the marriage and divorce. What I just wanted to say, or why I wanted to mention this, is because there are lots of moms who are following the Zanzibar who will be watching us now, and they start to realize as well that the fact or the reason why they got into toxic relationships and marriages is really often just repeating the generational trauma of like feeling that you don't deserve more than what that person is offering, which is really not enough. And that you've been shrinking, playing small, people pleasing, avoiding, victim. just like trying to make the other person happy, which again is a pattern from childhood, feeling responsible for making somebody else happy and just taking breadcrumbs of some appreciation, but very far from unconditional love. So it's completely normal for anybody who's watching or listening. It's completely normal to feel super scared, even to take any action. And like, do I stay or do I go? Do I let my kids watch me being, if not abused, then for sure disrespected? Or do I go and take all this fear with me that I'm not good enough? I'm alone. This is too hard. And I'm not going to find anybody better anyways, and like my kids will blame me for breaking the family. Like those are very hard decisions. So the fact that you took the decision, that you feel strong enough to actually go and take step towards your healthy future, also for your kids to be able to see healthy mom. And this is also another thing I'm always saying, it's so much better for kids to have one healthy, strong, confident, emotionally stable parent than seeing two of them fighting, getting wrapped up in their own childhood trauma, blaming each other, and just continuing the generational pattern. So I respect if you don't want to share anything more about that, but it's just I wanted to express like how impressed I am and how much I'm cheering you on to whatever decision you take about your relationship, this one or going forward, that this is really a huge win and huge progress. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Because I also realized that my daughter is also repeating that, and I want to save her from that.
Yeah. What was she repeating? Like when you were saying that she was the shy, quiet, good girl before?
But she's also the uh, if I gave her a gift, for instance, but the wrapping is not beautiful. But I don't like the gift. She's complaining, unhappy. I try to teach her like at least I'm not one. I don't want her to be grateful for the gift, but just look at the bright things of the situation. Don't focus on the if the box was a little bit damaged, but you don't know what is inside.
And the intentions underneath, right? That it was expression of your love and that it's not about the thing, the external, but it's inside the meaning of it. Yeah. Teaching kids how to look underneath. Yeah, exactly.
And my husband is exactly like that.
Yeah.
Always focusing on the negative and just complaining, and
Yeah,
that drains you.
absolutely. And we are not here to judge him or throw him under the bus. That will be most likely the result of his unhealed childhood trauma. Uh, but there comes a time when you need to make a decision for yourself and your kids. Yeah, which you're doing right now. So well done. Congratulations. Are there any final comment, anything you would like to share, like for the younger version of you a few months ago? Is there anything that you needed to hear that it would like make it easier, that it would give you the courage or anything, like a message to your younger self? Because that's actually maybe something somebody needs to hear today.
Yeah, like changes can be scary, but I'm not alone, and I'm brave enough to do it. I'm strong enough to do it.
That's my girl. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you so for your bravery indeed, to share the story that is not easy to share, even with your face on the camera, with your name. I really appreciate you. This really speaks volumes about how much healing you've done. And thank you for wanting to spread this as a ripple effect so that other moms can get inspired by that, so that they see what's possible.
Yeah, this is also another win for me because I actually don't. I don't like talking in public. I'm the person who sits at the very back.
And you took the front seat today because you know how important it is. So
Yeah.
well done. Well done. That's the best sign of the confidence getting recovered and becoming healthy. Yeah, that you know this is not even just about you, this is about helping other people. Yeah. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah.
And it's huge part of this is also thanks to you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jeanette. And I hope this little chat helped anybody. Maybe there was something you needed to hear today. So take your time to process. Take your time to please take care of yourself and reach out whenever you need help.
Thank you.
Bye, Jeanette.
Bye.